Multiple cases of measles now confirmed in North Carolina. Who's at risk and how to stop the spread?
And newly elected student body president Devin Duncan is in our studio. A live interview coming up on Carolina Week.
Journalism and media, connecting Carolina's campus and community. This is Carolina Week.
Good morning and welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Madeline Amati.
And I'm Catherine Dehart. UNC has a new student body president after last week's election. Our reporter, Morgan Perry, takes us into election night and onto the street to see students' reactions.
Congratulations, Mr. Student Body President-elect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Devin Duncan is UNC's new student body president. On Wednesday, the Board of Elections spent around 3 hours tallying up votes, revealing Duncan beat out opponent Junior Kizra Ahmad for the position. Duncan's first move in office.
You got to have an accountable team, and it starts from the top, the student body president and his executive or her executive council, all the way down to the cabinet department.
Duncan's team will support Project Bold, his platform which includes plans from creating a student wellness hub to providing grocery shuttle services for students. Only 10% of the student body voted in this year's election. Students who voted had varying opinions about the result.
I personally didn't vote for him, but I'm glad to see that someone who was as passionate about the position won. I personally didn't vote for him, but I'm glad to see that someone who was as passionate about the position won.
The general process seemed kind of interesting this year, especially with the coverage from the DTH.
Coverage of the DTH refers to the Daily Tar Heels reporting that contained alleged leaked group chats from the campaign of Duncan's opponent, Nayib Bala. Bala dropped out of the race and issued an apology for what she called selective excerpts from weeks of private campaign communication without context. Duncan says he's ready to move forward from the alleged misconduct.
There's a big focus for me on outcomes over optics. How can I deliver the results that I'm proposing? And that's what I would look forward to doing.
Yeah, the next step in this process is Duncan's inauguration, which doesn't have an official date quite yet, but will be held in early April.
That's right, and now one university leader's reaction to Duncan's win. Senior Vice Provost of Undergraduate Student Success, James Orr, says he was already working with Duncan on campus projects even before last week's victory.
I sent him a text message as soon as I learned that he had been elected. I was a student body president for 2 years when I was an undergraduate student. And then when I was in graduate school, I was very much so involved in the Student Government Association. So I believe that students play a very critical part to the experiences and the governance that we have on campus. And I'm really excited to work with Devin.
We also spoke with Orr about the fate of the Dean Dome. You can hear what he had to say exclusively on Carolina Week's Instagram. And to discuss his first steps as student body president, our Kate Chapman is live in studio with Duncan right now.
Devin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I want to get right into it. Let's talk priorities. What are some of the first things you're hoping to get done when you step into office?
Yeah, right now we're starting the process of hiring an accountable team. Executive Council applications will open up on Monday. And then we want to get to work with making sure everyone knows who our team is and what we're planning to do throughout the year, certainly starting with transparency.
Okay, so you have a lot of big goals. You ran on Project Bold. Creating a student grocery shuttle is one of your biggest goals.
Yep.
How are you going to make sure you get the funding and support for these initiatives? I mean, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of widespread support.
I think I would disagree on a lot of money because we have the P2P shuttles already in place. We really started with what are things that we already have progress on. So we already have the infrastructure. We know the Board of Trustees and the university administration is committed to combating food insecurity on campus. We have 3 UNC system schools that are currently running grocery shuttles. I've actually just sent emails out about the grocery shuttle and the student wellness hub. We're already having conversations on how can we get started over the summer to make sure that these things are progressing at the beginning of the year, and look forward to keeping everyone up to date on how those conversations go.
Now, this was a very competitive, intense race.
Absolutely.
There have been reports that one of your opponent's biggest criticisms of you is that you are another arm of university administration. Now that you have been elected, what's your response to this?
I think, as I've been saying from the beginning, access does not equal allegiance, and I will continue to work in good faith with everyone that has students at the center of everything that they do.
What sort of reaction have you received from faculty, staff, and students after your election?
I got inundated with congratulations and well wishes, and lots of people looking forward to working with me, and I look forward to working with them.
All right, Devin Duncan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, now taking a quick turn to local elections. Early voting is underway in the primary. Here's what you need to know. First, see if you're registered. You can check on the North Carolina Board of Elections website. If you're voting early, you can go to any early voting site in Orange County and Chapel Hill. That includes Chapel of the Cross, the Seymour Center, and the Chapel Hill Public Library. The closest spot to campus is going to be Chapel of the Cross. You'll also need a valid photo ID, like a driver's license, passport, or your physical one card. A digital one card will not be accepted. If you're not registered, you can register and vote at the same time during early voting. Just bring proof of your Chapel Hill address, which can be a housing letter from Carolina Housing or a utility bill if you're off campus. Early voting hours are on the Orange County Board of Elections website. Now, early voting ends next Saturday, and Election Day is March 3rd. If you vote on Election Day, you must vote at your assigned polling place. And if you choose to vote by mail, your absentee ballot must make it to the Board of Elections by March 3rd, or it will be thrown out.
Early voting for the primary election is underway, and candidates for the Orange County Board of Commissioners race are trying to get their names out there. We talked to the two Democrats running for the open at-large Orange County Commissioner seat, Adam Beeman and Karen Stegman. Both have previous experience in local government. Beeman was on the Orange County Planning Board for 8 years, and Stegman finished 2 terms on the Chapel Hill Town Council last year. We asked them why they chose to run. Here's what they said.
So I joined the planning board and I thought, well, I'll make changes there. And I got on the planning board and realized that you really don't make changes on an advisory council. It's really, just advisory. So if I want to make changes, I have to go all the way.
I am running for county commissioner because I finished serving 8 years on the Chapel Hill Town Council this past year. And it's no secret that things are not going well in our country and in our state. And I thought about how I could contribute and take action to help make things better.
There's also an opening to represent District 1 that mostly includes Chapel Hill and Carrboro in the county commissioner's race. The two candidates are incumbent Jamzetta Bedford and Maria Palmer. Bedford and Palmer also both have previous experience in local government. Bedford served 2 terms on the Board of County Commissioners, and Palmer was a Chapel Hill Council member from 2013 to 2017. Here's why they say they ran.
I'm running again because I really care about people, and I want to see these schools come online. I want to see a behavioral health diversion center and urgent care come online and be able to help our county navigate these tough federal times.
And I thought I could do my best to leave Orange County a better place for my grandkids, so that's why I'm running.
In both of these races, there are only Democrats running. So that means whoever wins the primary will win the seat by default.
And this week, several student government election results are stalled due to ongoing lawsuits with the UNC Supreme Court. Now, the UNC Supreme Court is set to handle cases in the Residence Hall Advisor, Senior Class President, and Senior Class Vice President races. The UNC Board of Elections actually can't release the results of these races until the lawsuits are resolved. Chair of the UNC Board of Elections, Elias North, says if the Supreme Court can't make a decision in the cases, the candidates may face a redo election.
But as it stands, I'm not worried about the volume of litigation. It's fairly common to see election lawsuits in our system.
Outgoing student body president Adolfo Alvarez tells us the court will likely meet this weekend to take up these cases.
Health officials in North Carolina are warning families to check their vaccination status as measles cases rise and misinformation spreads. Before we continue, a quick warning. The next story does include brief images of needles that some viewers may find uncomfortable. As of this morning, North Carolina public health officials have confirmed 22 cases in the state. Now, 17 of those cases are people who are under 18 years old. Dr. Myron Cohen, director of UNC Global Health and Infectious Diseases at the UNC Gillings School of Public Health, says that 20,000 cases have been reported in the past year in the United States, mostly among people who were not vaccinated. Dr. Cohen says that data shows about 1 in 5 unvaccinated people who get measles end up in the hospital. According to data from the Center for Disease Control, 1 in 20 children with measles develop pneumonia, and about 1 in 1,000 can have brain swelling, and it may cause lasting damage. Dr. Cohen says that while many children recover, the risk of serious complications, including death, is real.
The probability when your child, so if you, for whatever reason, have chosen not to vaccinate your child, and then the child gets measles, that's a deadly serious situation.
While Chapel Hill has not confirmed cases, Dr. Cohen says someone carrying the disease has been in the triangle.
And when we come back on Carolina Week, hear how a group of monks trekked over 2,000 miles.
And why a group of Tar Heels spontaneously went to Europe. Welcome back to Carolina Week.
Let's turn it over to our meteorologist, Katie Wilson, for a look at the weather this week.
Thanks, Catherine and Maddie. Much like NC State brought the heat to UNC last night, we're going to see some weather bring some heat to us. We're going to climb into the mid to upper 60s today. It's going to be pretty breezy and cloudy, so while we do have that warm up, you might want a light jacket because it's going to be pretty windy out there. Looking at the rest of our week, we have some rain chances coming for us. We're tracking this low system here that's just only going to bring us rain while it brings the rest of our northern states snow, as well as this weather maker here that will bring us more of our rain as we head into our weekend. Looking at tomorrow's rain chances, we're going to see some rain after 7 a.m., spotty as it moves through our area. Light rain, so definitely keep that umbrella on you. We're going to see our temperatures really start to drive up into the mid-70s heading into Friday. That's due to this high pressure system moving clockwise, bringing some southerly winds into our area, as well as this low pressure system that's still off to our west, bringing some more southerly winds. So both of those together really going to help drive those temperatures. We're going to see quite the warm up that we haven't seen this year. Looking at our Friday chances, we're going to see some rain between the weekend times, and we'll see that warm up as we look at mid-70s on Friday. Really going to warm up, and then we're going to cool down as that rain heads through the weekend. Back to y'all.
Thank you so much for that. This month we are highlighting Black Trailblazers. Today we look back at a student who changed the course of UNC history. Karen Parker was the first Black female undergraduate student at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Parker kept a personal journal during her time at UNC. That journal is now in Wilson Library's special collections. We had the chance to look through it. Let's take a closer look. Karen Parker enrolled at UNC in the fall of 1963, becoming the university's first Black undergraduate student during a period of desegregation in the South. At the time, many establishments in Chapel Hill still practiced segregation. Parker studied journalism, was a journalism student herself, and became the editor of The Journalist, an experimental newspaper from the journalism school. She detailed her activity within the civil rights movement. On December 18, 1963, Parker wrote, quote, "We are now in a peak of tension over racial demonstrations." Parker had, quote, decided to be arrested after a civil rights demonstration just a week before writing that. Parker later wrote that more than 70 people were arrested as well. After Parker graduated from Carolina in 1965, she continued her career in print writing, working with several major newspapers, including the Los Angeles Times, where she served as a Sunday news editor. She was inducted in the North Carolina Journalism Hall of Fame in 2015. Our reporter, Raina Drake, joins us live from Wilson Library, where she looked through Parker's diary. Raina, what was it like seeing that diary?
Thanks, Maddie. I'm here live outside Wilson right now, where in its special collection lies the diary of Karen Parker. And the process was actually very simple. I was able to make an appointment with a consultant who told me about the diary, and because I had no idea that it even existed in the first place. And I went into Wilson, right here, and I had to wash my hands so that I could flip through it just to make sure that no oils got on the pages. And I'm just very fortunate that my third grade teacher taught me cursive so that I was able to read the diary. And it's a little brown diary. It has a logo, an old UNC logo of 3 rams on the cover, which is something that we don't even see around campus anymore. And when I opened the pages, it really felt like I was taken right back to 1963 on UNC's campus. And one of her first entries was actually saying that her friend gifted her the journal so that she could detail her experience because he knew it was going to be difficult. And little did she know that we're now covering this diary. Maddie?
And Raina, can you give us a little tidbit? When you opened the diary, did anything in there surprise you?
Yeah, so one thing that really stood out to me was that she was actually on campus during the Kennedy assassination. She detailed that all of campus shut down and the Duke game was canceled. She also wrote a lot about what it was like being the first Black student here at UNC, and it was really difficult. In one of her entries, she actually wrote that she was so proud to be at UNC, but she didn't know how much longer she could stick it out. But the only way that they were going to get her off campus was if they expelled her. She also wrote twice about her arrests on campus. And if you're interested in looking at this diary, there's hours worth of content. You can schedule an appointment at Wilson Library. Back to you, Maddie.
Raina, thank you so much for that important coverage. The 19 Theravada monks who began their 2,300-mile walk for peace from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. have returned home after a successful journey.
Throughout their walk, there were helping hands that made it all possible. Like many communities, the Church of the Nativity in Raleigh, North Carolina, signed up to provide the monks with lunch to support their mission of peace, love, and unity. Often referred to by its members as the Church of the Activity due to its long-standing social commitment to service and social action, the church's contributions come as no surprise.
To travel and to spread loving kindness and peacefulness and mindfulness to everybody and to every living creature. So it was a quest that really resonated with the faith community here.
Sorry for that technical error, but this Raleigh church isn't the only community that has supported the monks' journey across the country. Volunteers, event planners, and security staff work to prepare for their arrival, help them rest and recover, and to support their mission.
Friendships from alums' time at UNC have made it all the way to the Olympics. 3 UNC Class of 2021 grads are in Milan together for a spontaneous Olympic visit. But they are also here to take in Milan's art and culture scene. Some of the stops on their list: the Duomo, a 14th century church, which is an iconic symbol of Milan, and the Triennale Museum, a design museum, showcasing the flair of Italian design with 2 special Olympic exhibits, Whiteout and Casa Italia Milano Cortina exhibits.
It's just like happy to be here. So I think just seeing everyone come together and really repping their own countries has been a lot of fun. I've actually been to Milan before, but yeah, it's definitely a different vibe coming back for the Olympics. So I've been enjoying it more this time.
The Olympic spirit has spread beyond the sporting events and throughout Milan. There are 5 days left of Olympic competition, with women's figure skating and ice hockey finals still to come.
Maddie, maybe we should take a spontaneous trip to Milan.
That sounds like a plan.
And while we're on the topic of sports, Nyla Harris is in studio to break down this week in Carolina athletics.
We'll get to that right after the break.
I've decided to quit vaping. I feel so trash right now. Like, I really need my vape. Yeah, I literally cannot sleep. Like, I hope this is worth it. I can't. I know quitting is worth it. 'Cause I'm worth it.
All right, welcome back to Carolina Week. Let's send it over to Sports Extra's Nyla Harris.
Thanks, Catherine. Number 16 UNC men's basketball took the short trip down the road to face ACC rival NC State on Tuesday evening at the Lenovo Center. Both teams traded baskets for the first 5 minutes of the game before NC State drained back-to-back three-pointers to take a 6-point lead. UNC went almost 3 minutes without recording a field goal before sophomore center Zayden High raced for 3 consecutive scores to cut the deficit to 7. In the final 10 minutes of the half, NC State continued to pour it on as guard Paul McNeil Jr. swiveled through the defense for a jump shot to extend the Wolfpack lead to 16 at the break. To begin the second half, junior forward Jaren Stevenson raced for a quick lay-in before the Tar Heels went cold from the field again. North Carolina fought to chip into the double-digit deficit with junior guard Luka Bogavac contributing 9 points but could not overcome a 25% first-half shooting performance. UNC falls 82-58 for its 5th conference loss. Number 22, North Carolina women's basketball team hits the road Thursday for an ACC showdown against Virginia Tech. The Hokies are tough at home, using their physicality and perimeter shooting to control the pace and stretched defenses. Look for the Heels to set the tone in the backcourt. While India Navarre provides a spark with her speed and ability to attack downhill, UNC will need to defend the three, finish possessions, and value the basketball in the hostile road environment. Tip-off is set for Thursday at 6 in Blacksburg. The Diamond Heels hosted their first midweek matchup Tuesday, welcoming the Richmond Spiders to Boshamar Stadium. The UNC offense wasted no time getting on the board, plating 2 early runs in the first frame. The real fireworks, however, came an inning later as Jake Schaffner crushed a slider from Richmond's Chase Gruber over the right field wall and into the trees. Saturday's hero, Macon Winslow, added to the damage, driving in 3 runs on his second homer as a Tar Heel. Kyle Percival set the tone on the mound, tossing 4 scoreless innings in his first appearance since his injury last March. The Tar Heel offense kept chugging along, plating runs in the 3rd and 7th inning to run rule the Spiders 10-0. Tonight, baseball will face the Longwood Lancers at the Bosch at 4.
So we try and look at every single pitch like it has a life of its own, so just try and win each pitch. And it really takes away looking at the score, looking if we're down by a lot or we're up by a lot.
The swim team wrapped up the diving portion of the ACC Championships. Tuesday, the last day of diving, was headlined by Sophia Knight, who placed 3rd in the 1-meter springboard. Carter Lofton, Rodolfo Vasquez, and Ciro Mejia all scored points for the Heels in the 3-meter. Tune into Sports Extra on Friday at 11:30 for a full weekend preview.
Did you know that approximately 9 million people in the US alone vape? Let's make that 9 million and 1. We're Super Nick Ultimate Long Spaceship Limited XD Pro Deluxe Max 2000 2.4, and we have what you didn't know you needed. Our vapes are made with 100% natural ingredients, including fruit extracts, metal, lead, car exhaust.
Cut. What did we say about the natural ingredients line?
And if you buy our new Cotton Cancer, you can get our special edition Popcorn Love. Our product is proven to cause erectile dysfunction.
Cures erectile dysfunction.
Are you tired of living your best life? Want to feel anxious, out of touch, and depressed?
Cut! Are you even reading the script?
Why lose just one lung when you can lose 2? Do you want to die?
Cut. Like, just cut. Just cut.
And welcome back to Carolina Week.
The Ackland Art Museum is starting guided tours this weekend for their latest exhibit, Boys Will Be Men. This is the third and newest project in the photo series. The project features photos of male students from the Durham School of the Arts. The exhibit is 42 photos and an audio booth with personal reflections on male identity and coming of age. Next week's guided tours will take visitors through a half-hour tour of the artwork with a discussion. On Friday, photographer and Carolina alum Bill Bamberger and some of the students will do a Q&A at the gallery. Ackland says it was inspired to commission Bamberger to create a project with what they call an intergenerational reach.
I think the fact that there are so many people locally who are aware of this project, who participate in this project, and who know some of the students who are, for instance, photographed in the project, or even friends of the photographer, or friends of the students who worked as the project team on the project. We've got a lot of really strong local interest.
And the National Dance Theater Company of Jamaica is on the American leg of its world tour this weekend. The company is performing 2 sold-out shows in the Reynolds Industry Theater in Durham. The internationally renowned dance company will perform works rooted in Jamaican history and culture through music and movement. Founded in 1962, the year Jamaica gained independence, the company has built a legacy rooted in history, identity, and the African diaspora. Today, it blends traditional Afro-Jamaican dance with contemporary movement, connecting the past and present on stage. This season reflects growth and renewal, a message that resonates following recent hurricanes in Jamaica.
Well, usually I'm not one to want to head over to Duke, but that might be a reason to go.
I know. That's one reason I can get down with the Blue Devils in Durham.
Exactly. Lots of great art and culture happening this weekend in the area.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much. That'll do it for this week's edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.